What's up, Geek Squad? Welcome to the Geek to Geek channel, your safe haven for all the news from the nerd universe. And today, my friends, we have a treasure to uncover. The very first teaser for the second season of One Piece live action on Netflix. Get ready, because the grand line awaits us. I know, the first season was a masterstroke, right? And we were incredibly eager to see the Straw Hat crew in the flesh. Well, One Piece Day arrived, and with it, Netflix finally released the first images of what's to come. And let me tell you, there's a lot that'll make longtime fans' hearts race. But will it hype everyone? We're going to discuss that. Let's dive deep, point by point, into what this teaser revealed to us. The first season left us in Arlong Park, in Kokoyashi Village. Now we know that the second season will adapt iconic arcs like Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum. And the teaser has already given us a taste of at least 3 of these islands. But will they be able to adapt all these arcs in just one season? Right off the bat, in the first frame, we see the Going Merry approaching what appears to be an island, but it's not. It's the imposing Red Line, that gigantic continent that divides the world of One Piece. And why is this important? Because to reach the Grand Line, they need to pass through one of the Red Line's channels, Reverse Mountain. That's where we'll find the Whale Laboon and Crocus. And of course, Vivi's first appearance. The representation of the Red Line is frighteningly accurate, with that mist that hides the top conveying all its grandeur and danger. The first island we see up close is Whiskey Peak, with its gigantic cacti. The external visual of the island is simply sensational. It looks like it came straight out of the manga. But I confess, the scenes inside the city left me a little wary. That look of a stage set, you know? I know the series is expensive and they need to save money, but this feeling of a cardboard set breaks the immersion a bit. It's the famous suspension of disbelief that we value so much. But the important thing is that the island is there, and it looks like Zoro will be soloing the Baroque Works crew. He certainly won't take down the entire city of bounty hunters like in the anime, but the bar fight will definitely happen.
Another island we glimpse is Logtown, the birthplace and execution site of the Pirate King. But one thing caught my attention: a circus in Logtown? In the anime, this doesn't exist. It seems Netflix will find a way to increase Buggy's participation in this part of the season. And honestly, Buggy turned out sensational in this adaptation. We see Nami about to beat up Vivi, who is much thinner now, and a brawl that seems to be against Buggy's crew. Apparently, the execution platform is also there, so the classic scene of Luffy almost being executed should happen. And of course, Little Garden couldn't be missing. All the scenes in the dense forest are from there. A prehistoric island with dinosaurs and, most importantly, giants. I was super curious to see how they would adapt the giants, and from the teaser snippet, it looks good. It reminded me of Gulliver's Travels. We see Brogy, one of the 2 giants who will appear in this arc, and the characterization is impeccable. It looks like it came straight out of the anime. The big question is how they will maintain this size difference consistently for several episodes without spending a fortune on CGI. The teaser also shows Usopp running in the woods, Luffy exploring, and even a possible scene of the dispute between Zoro and Sanji to hunt the biggest dinosaur. And there's more. Sanji entering a white house in the forest. It's Mr. Three's wax house. In other words, we'll have the epic Mr. Prince scene. I just doubt they'll include the vulture and the rat that work for Mr. Three. I'm very excited to see Mr. Three, who, from what I've heard, will be played by David Dastmalchian, who is great at playing quirky characters. And speaking of characters, 2 I was eager to see are Smoker and Nico Robin. And once again, Smoker's adaptation seems to have come straight from the anime. He's identical, with his 2 cigars and open shirt conveying that tough guy vibe. It's amazing how they managed to fuse the cartoonish with the real, maintaining the character's essence, even with the wig that looks strange, just like Sanji's. The big curiosity is how they will adapt his power to transform into smoke. But if there's one power I'm even more curious to see, it's Nico Robin's. Yes, folks, Nico Robin has finally arrived. For me, she's one of the most iconic and charming characters in One Piece, and she looks stunning. with the classic white cowboy hat, which is in my opinion her best look to date. I'm curious to see how they'll place her this season, as in the anime she only appears at the very end of Whiskey Peak to terrorize. But her scene in the teaser doesn't seem to be that. She appears to be invading a marine base. In fact, in that scene, we see her using petals to open a door. We know she has the Hana Hana no Mi, the flower fruit, which allows her to sprout multiple limbs on enemies. Imagine how bizarre that would look in live action. It might work, or maybe they'll adapt it and make those limbs out of petals, which would be less strange. I really want to see more of this actress's performance as Robin. Now, let's touch on a point that generated a lot of discussion: the ethnicity of some characters, especially Vivi. In the teaser, Vivi also appears, but with a different ethnicity than many fans expected. Is Netflix messing up again? Hold on, let's play devil's advocate here. You know Vivi is the princess of Alabasta, right? And Alabasta is based on ancient Egypt, which is in Africa. Most of the people in Egypt are not white. The actress who plays Vivi, Sharita Chandran, is not black. She's of Indian descent. Could they have found an Egyptian actress to represent her better? Perhaps. But the most important thing is that Oda himself, the genius creator of One Piece, is who approves the cast. If the man said yes, who are we to question? Besides, if we were to follow the anime's color palette, no character would be black. Take any recent image of Usopp in the anime. He's whiter than paper. And even Nico Robin has changed ethnicity in the anime itself. If we were to follow the anime manga ethnicities, we wouldn't have any non-white characters in this live action. So honestly, I didn't mind this change. The girl is very beautiful, has a sweet appearance, and if she's a good actress, she'll have everything needed to be the live-action Vivi. The place where Vivi appears in the teaser is dark, and looking closely, it seems she's inside the mouth of a creature. And we already know whose it is: Laboon! Guys, I still can't believe they're actually going to put a giant whale in this series. This live action must be super expensive. In the final scene of the teaser, Laboon is about to swallow the Going Merry, but you can barely see her. It seems they'll use this trick to hide as much CGI as possible to save money. But I want to see how they'll make her head hit the red line and the drawing Luffy will make on her face. Will we have any scenes of Brook's crew in this part of the season in the live action? Or an appearance of Ace at the end? That would be awesome! Guys, honestly, I'm super excited for this second season of One Piece. The effects seem to be getting better and better. Luffy's Gum Gum Gatling looked really good, unlike Mr. Fantastic, right, who was nerfed in the Fantastic Four movie. Nami's wig is more realistic. And the best part, the series already has a third season confirmed. That's great, even if we already knew. This teaser, although quick and not showing much of the plot of the season, was made for One Piece fans. Fans will go crazy with the references and details. But for those who got into One Piece through the live action, it might not generate the same hype, as it doesn't show the story. But don't worry, we'll have other teasers and a real trailer before the release, which unfortunately will only be next year. How cruel, Netflix. And what did you think of this first glimpse of the second season? Leave your comments below about what caught your attention the most and what you hope to see. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to not miss any news from the Geek universe. Until next time, Nakamas.